Well, here they go. It's their lucky day. All those people who had just got the 7 seconds here and there, we're doing a full-on explanation for you today about hypnobirthing, Cal style.
Bam! Pushing a baby out with your brain.
Here's the deal. We're two moms that we pop babies out in our 40s. And it's hard. It was hard.
It's also the best thing that's ever happened to either one of us.
Yeah, but now we're moms in our 40s.
In our 40s.
With preschoolers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's bring the community together of women, and let's talk about like real shit, real life, real women shit.
Yeah, real women shit. Let's do that.
Shit's hard. And also it's funny.
Cheers. Unfiltered.
Because if you want a show, we're a shit show. We're here for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
A million toys and Toys R Us that I can play with. From dance to games to video games. A million, but it is. I don't want to grow up because if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Ding. Are the kids sleeping? Is that what you asked? Yes. See, they are. Well, they were. Now they want to go to Toys R Us. If you haven't got to, I'm Cal.
Oh yeah. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice. We do mature-ish mama things.
We're doing mature-ish mama things daily
On
the dizzle.
We're ishing the mom because we are 40-year-old moms with toddlers and we are just rocking the shit out of life.
Bow.
That was not a Guitar Hero. Bow. That was an actual. Bow.
That was an actual hero.
Yeah, an actual. You are an actual hero.
Yep, I'm a rockin' hero mama.
You are, man.
Here's some coffee.
Here, welcome, coffee and friends. What are you today?
I'm walking on sunshine.
Sunshine. Oh, yeah, you are, girl. Mm-hmm. Get it. Oh, you guys, we're ready to talk to you today about some stuff.
Yeah. I'm ready to hear about this one. I'm excited actually to hear about this one.
I'm excited to share because I've had so many people after I shared one video, and I was just like learning how to TikTok. It was my first TikTok experiences. And I was like, you know what? It's Quincy's birthday. I'm just going to share this delivery video that I have. And then I had so many questions about hypnobirthing.
That's
and
so cool.
Yeah. I shared about it for like a year in 7-second snippets. So it kind of leaves people with questions. They're like, hey, that's really cool that you didn't make a noise and you just pushed a baby out. But also, can you give us a little bit more?
Where do we begin?
Yeah. And then like, where do I go? I'm like, I don't know. Just go watch all my 7-second reels. You'll probably figure it out.
Yeah. They're definitely not in chronological order.
Mm-mm. They're not at all. Just wheel through all of them. And then you're going to see a bunch of other videos that don't have anything to do with it.
Like, what do they say? Smash that heart button.
Smash
while
it.
you're on there
just
too.
Double smash it if you will.
Well, here they go. It's their lucky day. All those people who had just got the 7 seconds here and there, we're doing a full-on explanation for you today about hypnobirthing, Cal style.
Bam! Pushing a baby out with your brain. That's what it's going to be.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Coolio.
Do you want to just dive in?
I think so. Ready?
Wait, hold on. You guys, when we dive in, what we do is we do our hands in little turtle form.
Turtles.
Just like cast in turtle form.
Ready?
Over your head. And dived. We just doved in. I'm just going to tell you what happened next.
I would love to,
Okay.
because I haven't heard this. Well, actually, when I was about to have Caston was Christmas.
And I was probably, hey, Megan, you should try this.
You were very supportive and like, this is what I did. But it, again, I mean, I feel like I got like a 14-second version of it because it was Christmas and we were like,
How
I never
lucky.
see you.
You got double the version.
I know, it was. But we were also just like quickly talking and then everyone else is there and family's there. So we didn't get a full on.
Yeah. The
So-
one-on-onesies.
It's a little late for me, but maybe you or someone you know, you can turn them on to this because this is cool.
It is cool. It is cool. And it's something that's interesting that I wanted to share. I didn't have any idea about my first two babies.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm assuming people just never did a hypnobirth back in the 2000s. Just kidding. I'm sure there were tons of them. I just didn't know about it.
Well, and I think a lot of women, especially like our parents' generation, they did just do that without knowing that that's what they were doing, maybe.
Because we give everything a name now.
Yeah, everything has a name.
Yep.
So
they're like, okay, so we're talking about pushing out a baby today. Like, you're just going to teach us how to push it.
1980s style.
Yeah. Having a baby in the 1980s. This is what you do.
Oh man, remember? Oh, can you imagine? Like way back in the day when they're like, hug this tree, grab onto this tree, bear down,
squat, and let's
bear down.
Put some leaves below you to catch the little
little baby, or you just go ahead and grab it yourself.
Grab him and hold him up.
Hold him up.
Oh, like Lion King, Simba style.
Yeah, swing him from his little cord.
Yeah, the little one. There you go. Bite it off, and then you're good to go.
Let's get going. We're on the Oregon Trail today. Let's go.
They're like, how old are these bitches? We were born in 1920. So there's that.
In the 20th century.
We were from the 20th century, which is crazy. So when I had Kins and Jace, I knew that I wanted to, like you had shared, I wanted to just have a no drug. I always say natural labor, but man, people rip me up when I say that on my socials because they're like, all labor is natural. Cool. Like I get it. But like, that's my brain like thinks like no drug labor.
I understand.
Unassisted labor, except for from the doctors, the nurses, and the entire hospital unit and all the tools that are in there. No drugs. So the reason why
drug free. We went through DARE.
Yeah.
You had a DARE birth.
Oh yeah, Officer Barry. He was great.
We had Officer Barry.
No.
Yes.
Oh, Officer Barry. Shout out to you.
Shout out.
Oh,
I did do drugs at one point, but I still learned a lot.
That's probably why he's no longer in the field.
Well, they quit DARE. Actually, they were like, we need to stop showing the kids what
how
these
to
are
do drugs.
and how fun they are. And what all their names are and how you get them on the street.
Backfire.
Backfire.
Maybe let's just not talk about it, and then they won't be so intrigued.
But still, I did enjoy Dr. Barry.
Yes, Dr. Barry was great. Thank you, Officer Dr. Barry. So I was doing a delivery Dr. Barry style.
DARE free. I mean, drug free.
All of those things. And the true reason is because I was scared of the needle. That's
in your back. That is the frightening feeling.
Yeah, and I just was like, what if, and if I can't walk, and like I am a control freak. If you haven't noticed, what? No. So I was like, I have got to be able to use my legs. Like that just freaked me out. So I was like, so I'm just not going to have an epidural. There you go. And what supports that is if you don't go to the hospital until you're already past the point. Like if you wait, right? Because then you get there.
There's no choice.
Yeah. So even had I wanted to, they're like, oh, you're already beyond it. So with Kins, I got to the hospital and I had her minutes later. I mean, within like 15 minutes. Like
your first one, huh?
Yeah. And I did that. That was the pizza story I told a while ago. So we barely rolled in and like, you're about to have this baby. Do you want anybody here? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, you better call him because it's coming out right now.
Yeah.
And then
you're like, can you finish that crust because you're having a baby?
Because your baby's coming out. And I don't really remember. Like, I mean, I think that I was yelling, but also it was the third of the Kentucky Derby. So all of our whole family was in the waiting room. Like I think we had like maybe 15 people there.
Wow.
And they're watching it. And they're
in
like,
the waiting room?
Yeah. And they're rooting for whoever number 3 was. I wish I could remember, but I don't. And they're like, hey guys, the people are having babies right now. Maybe you could just, this is pre-COVID
We need to
days.
hear them scream, not you.
Yeah. So,
and we got some horse fans in our family. I bet they were on fire.
Like if somebody's going to win the triple I hope they were wearing hats. I don't even know what was happening. They were probably smoking cigars in the waiting room. Like it was, 1935.
Yeah, right.
People were doing shit.
Yeah.
So anyways, I don't really remember that delivery. With Jace, I know that same thing. I was like, I did it once. I can do this again. No drugs. Like I got that. And, he was back labor. So you remember how in your story, you couldn't really change positions.
Yes.
But he was not coming out on my back. And I did it okay during the beginning, but then like they had me turn over to all fours in order to try to push him out because I could use my legs to do that.
Right.
And I just know that I was screaming in the middle of the night, the F word. Like they were like, hey, so could we just, other people are kind of freaking out about having a baby. Because I'm like, get this baby the fuck out of me. I was pretty calm. I'm like, if you talk about like being good at having babies.
You're scaring the guests.
You're scaring everyone in the hospital.
Actually, the doctors.
But I don't have any drugs.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So you labored at home for how long? Do you remember? Like how many hours you were in labor? Or?
No, I mean, because if I stayed distracted, then I wasn't as focused on the contractions. So like I think with Kinsey, it started like 5 a.m. and I got to the hospital at 3:30 p.m.
Okay.
So like to me, it feels like normalish, like 10 hours or so.
Okay.
But when you're moving and you're shaking and you're doing things,
and you're not home, you're not
as
laid up in a
focused.
bed, like
Because that would have been also challenging for me.
Yeah.
With Jace, we got there and they had to they told us to walk laps. So we were playing. I don't know if you ever go on road trips and you play the alphabet game and you like try to find words that start with A.
Yeah.
So we were doing that, walking around, just like some blood dripping out. You just keep walking, keep going until the baby comes out.
like a little snail.
Snail drizzle just down there. I'm like, A, acrobat. I don't think there were any acrobat signs. E, exit. Let's leave here now.
Yeah. Here's how we get out.
Let's go. Yeah. So I wasn't good at it with my first two babies. And then it happens that I get pregnant, 14, 15 years later.
Right.
Congratulations, God. Way to trick our whole family.
Yep.
And we go in. And the other thing is like how you were, Megan, she just told her story and she was I can't believe you were so good at wanting to keep casting in. Like you didn't want to get induced,
Yeah.
And that was like really part of your plan. For me, I think that the babies always broke the same rib, because I had this extreme pain. So I know with Kinsey, I stopped working at 33 weeks because I couldn't stand, lay, sit, do anything. If I laid on one side, then it was manageable pain, but it was it still hurts when I touch my one rib. So I think that area, I realized what a broken rib is now. I think that's what was happening because their bodies would just jar up there. And then it was probably this kind of a volatile bone anyways.
Sure.
So by the third baby, it's last trimester and I'm like, when can I push this baby out? And then I was like, I don't really want to get induced. So I'm going to try to induce myself with, if any of you guys have tried these things, there's a certain green tea, red berry something that you do.
Okay.
So I'm trying every
castor oil.
Yeah.
I ingest it or something.
Yeah. I castor oil Jace out actually.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, if you take it, then, and by the way, we're not doctors and we're not recommending any of this because I think your doctor would say, don't do what
Who's
the mature
surprised?
mom. What?
Who's surprised we're not doctors?
And that these are not recommended techniques.
Dr. Feelgood.
Dr. Barry probably did it. He wasn't wanting to do any other drugs, so he was doing castor oil.
Yep.
It's Friday night. You want to take out the castor oil and see what happens to our bowels?
Sounds like a fun night to me.
Friday night. Who don't want to? Oh my gosh. So I did it with Jace and supposedly it'll induce your stomach to start. So if you're ready to go into labor, you'll go. And if you're not ready, then you just won't. And I did the castor oil right before church at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. And then I think I had them, 1 a.m. the next day. So it did work.
Yeah, cool.
It worked, yeah.
Cool.
So with the next two, I'm like, I got to get this freaking baby out. Just so happens, a week before I was at one of Kinsey's gymnastics meets, and this mom comes up to me, and she'd heard my Good Morning Sunshine, the live videos, and she's like, oh, she's into some freaky deaky stuff, hypno stuff. So she's like, are you going to try hypnobirthing? And I was like, what's that? So when you're thinking about I'm about to have a baby in a week, I just learned the name of the technique a week before.
Cool.
So it's because I know now people they study, they do courses, they take classes.
Sure. I would imagine, yeah.
And all that's great, but if you haven't done that and you're kind of freaking out, you also, it would work because this worked for me. So I learned about it. I'm like, well, tell me just what that is. And she's like, basically, you use your mind to support yourself in calmness during the delivery so that instead of resisting the contractions, you're allowing your body to relax during the contractions.
Wow.
And that's about what she said. Maybe there were a couple more sentences, but I'm like, cool, that makes sense. I already know that I don't want to have drugs. So I'm going to do what I've already done. You do have to be a little flexible.
Of course, yeah.
Hopefully not as flexible as you, because I was still in the... She's pretty flexible. Watch her put her foot over her head, right? We're both wearing shoes.
Oh, gross.
That's just, no, you can't even take yours off. That's going to be a 15-minute process.
No.
What?
Look at that.
You guys, I'm sorry that we just embarrassed
Bang, bang.
everybody.
Here. Oh.
They just fly underneath the mic
Ooh,
table.
that's better.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I'm just black.
Where's
I
your
know. I'm
sockies?
so boring because I had to wear
Mine
sneakers
say-
today. What did yours say?
You better have tacos.
Taco Friday.
Well, we did get our tacos waxed today, so I thought it was an appropriate
That's so
day to wear my
perfect.
taco socks.
Did you show her when you were
I
getting
left
the
them on.
Yeah.
I totally undressed from the waist down, but I left my socks on.
Me too. I wish I would have worn taco socks.
I know. She did say, "Those are cute socks."
Yeah. Snatchel socks. Oh, she was like, are you embarrassed? Do you want a cloth or something? I'm like, No, just like, let's get naked and let's.
She didn't even ask. Maybe I don't give off that vibe because I didn't even think about
Whip
this
it
till
out
right
Megs.
now.
Yeah.
She didn't even I guess maybe she was going to leave the room, but I just undressed.
She just
while
dropped
she's
her
standing
drawers.
there.
Hey
So
girl, here's my taco. Let's
I'm talking to her. I'm like, how's things going? How are you? Blah, blah, blah. Hands up. I'm like,
just get naked.
getting naked.
Since we're talking about snatches, we might as well talk about the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Anyways.
perfect. Yep. So,
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry about
Super
this.
sorry.
Supersonic. Well, so here we are. And where were we?
You
am
were
I doing?
going in. You were just learning about you said, okay, here we go. I learned about hypnobirth. I'm going to find out what
I'm gonna
it
give it a
is
shot.
because I have 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week. So I forget about it that day. We leave, forget about it. Go back on my life. Yep.
No one's surprised.
Yeah, nobody is. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to have this baby. I walk, I don't know how many miles that day trying to get this freaking kid out of me. Love him, but I just was done being pregnant.
Yeah.
And we go to the hospital and the delivery nurse and everybody's like, you're not progressing enough. Like we're probably going to need to send you home because things aren't going, nothing's happening. I'm like, well, my contractions are less than 4 minutes apart. So you're not going to send me home because you asked me to come here when they're 4 minutes apart. So like, I'm not going to, what do you want me to do right now?
Yeah.
And like up until this point, we had been doing the walk again. I was sitting on the ball and bouncing the ball. Kind of, here's the thing. So when you're going through labor, your natural reaction, when your body clenches up, and you can feel the whole thing, right, is you clench up.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's about to throw a ball at your face, what does your body do? You close your eyes, you clench, and you like resist what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And that's just what we think that we should do. We're trying to protect ourselves from the pain.
Right. Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're stopping the body from opening up because we're resisting it. So basically, in labor, in a normal labor situation, if you're not using your mind to push through it, you're stopping the process while you're in the process, which makes labor so much longer.
That makes sense.
And more painful because you're identifying the feeling as pain instead of identifying the sensation as progress.
Oh, that's a great sentence.
Yeah. And so I'm going to bring it to you guys one more time because this is a big crux of the whole thing.
Sure.
Instead of identifying the feeling as pain, which I get, it doesn't feel good, you're identifying the sensation as progress. So with every contraction, you're like, way to go, girl. Mm-hmm. Like you're
pushing that baby out of there.
Yeah.
And you're doing what you're supposed to do. Your body is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
And instead, usually we're pushing the body back in because we're clenching things in. So this whole time I'm at the hospital, I'm like, okay, Cal, what? Oh, that's right. That lady told you about hypnobirthing. Maybe you should try to use your mind differently during this time. So I messaged one of my friends because she just was a little bit more in tune to her mental space. And I was like, Dawn, I'm in labor right now. I feel like I'm just not supporting my body and getting done what I need to get done. What words could I use? So we use a lot of code words or cue words in gymnastics, like as an athlete.
Okay.
You have like a couple words, like usually like a string of 1, 2, or 3, where it's going to cue your mind to act a certain way. So like in gymnastics, it would be like stand, turn, point, whatever. Like it's like,
okay.
So my body's like stand, turn, point. So it would know, here's what you're going to do during this time.
So it becomes muscle memory instead of actually having to think through what your body's going to be doing.
Yes.
You already just know stand, turn, point.
And it's a relaxation form, right? So I can't be scared right now because I'm stand, turn, pointing, like it's telling my body to do something else. Mm-hmm. So during this process, and I wish I would have asked her before I did this episode because I forget every single time, but it was like, she's like, okay, so I want you to picture your body because your cervix has to open, right? And then that, like, you have to have like the effacement. Is that what it is? So she's like, I want you to just think about like thin. And this is still how my hands go. Like I grab my hands and I pull them down like thin and then open. So thin and open. So I was like, okay, the doctor just said I'm going to have to leave. If I don't have the baby within 2 hours, I got to go. You were going to like, so I was like, give us just 2 hours. Leave me alone. John, go take a nap. Like,
I really need to internally get in there.
Yep.
And thin and open.
Thin and open. And I just laid on my back. And with every contraction, every 3 or 4 minutes by myself. And you think about, we know how the labor experience is, right? Mm-hmm. That at this point, instead of being focused on any of the quote unquote pain or that resistance, when it would come, and I want to say that I was dilated. I have a video. I'll show it right here.
Perfect.
It's funny. I forgot I have these videos
That's
until
awesome.
just
I
this
love
moment.
the videos.
I
love that.
So I'm needing to go from whatever I was at. I was at maybe like a 2 or 3 dilated.
So not barely anything.
I need to get to a 10.
Yeah.
This is me. This, wait, is what I need to be.
Yet my contractions are every 2 minutes and they're pretty hard. So this could be a really interesting night. It could be really interesting. Look at John Carroll is so excited. 2 hours and they're going to check me again. Yay! So much fun, right? And I'm in the beginning and I just lay there and I'm doing this like thin and open with every single contraction. And it's really an interesting sensation when you're in this like pain where you want to resist it. And now I can see like when you resist, you pull everything up and in. Can you feel that in your body as
Absolutely,
I'm saying it?
yeah.
And if you've had a baby, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, I'm going to pull this back in because it fucking hurts.
Well, that's how I was when the nurse found me at 6 a.m. I was holding onto the side of the bed, just pulled in.
Yeah.
Rip it up in my, like,
I'm going to get this baby back in here.
Yeah.
Because the pain's so freaking bad. The thin and open hurts. So instead with every one, I'm like thin and open. And I was like thin and I'm like, I'm seeing my whole body open up and I'm allowing my body to relax so that I believe it was able to, because she comes back and she's like, oh shit, you're about to have the baby. We need to get the doctor in here.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Of thin and open.
Yep. And going from a 1 or a 2 all the way there where I had been in labor for already like 6 hours, just getting to a 2.
Awesome.
And I was like, wow, that was amazing. So this is the delivery where I was sharing about how I had Quincy and everybody there. So I was like, he's like, if you want anybody here, they need to come right now because you're about to have the baby. And it's 1:30 in the morning. So now everybody's getting up, carpooling to the hospital, get the bus, get all the kids on the bus, get on in the hospital so we can watch this baby be born.
Right.
My 12-year-old boy and my 14-year-old girl, whatever, 13 and 15-year-old.
And her friend, right?
They all need to see. They got their popcorn and their sodies. They're ready. So they come into the room and I have another, I'll just like show you guys a contraction of what this looked like. So right after this, like I'm laying on a ball because I was like, I need to kind of stretch out. So all the nurses are setting up, right? And I'm just in there and I was like, by the way, I'm vlogging this. I was like, I'm taking snaps. I'm doing Snapchat now because I wasn't on the tiki-talkie yet. Okay, so I'm on a ball right here. This is my baby nurse.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Oh, and we're going to have a contraction together first. So that was what that's like on this ball. But I think that it's like Christmas right now because my kids are on the way and I cannot wait. We haven't had time to call anybody else yet because I don't know how quick it's going to go and I don't want to wake everybody up at 2 a.m. But I can't wait to see my babies. Just after that, they set me in the bed and the doctor comes in, this old dude, and I breathe a couple times and grab my legs and push. And I don't make any noise. Like there's not a F word. There's not a grunt. There's not a, there's literally me just thin, open. And then he says, push. And then I pushed and I had to push multiple times.
Sure.
And I don't know, like my body's a little bit aggressive. So I like to just push so hard that I just like bust all the things in my face. Like I do really give it my all because since I don't have an epidural, I can feel my push.
Yes, that's a big difference.
For sure. When you talked about having an epidural and not being able to even like feel what's going on, that would have been really difficult.
It was.
To do. Yeah. You're like, oh.
For me, it was.
Yeah. Tell me to do a push-up, but you can't feel your arms.
No.
Cool. Yeah, let me get that.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
And see if you're even going up and down because you can't see anything or feel anything.
What's happening? Yeah. It seems like that would be very challenging. So I was able to just deliver this beautiful little baby boy. I didn't know it was a boy yet. He was our surprise baby.
That's cool.
And to like feel his little head, and he had this like monkey hair, like 1.5 inch long hair. And at this point, how you were talking, like filling the head, I'm just like, I'm petting his little head. I'm like, oh, little boy, like come on up here, little slippity slimy worm, and I put him in my arms.
Yep.
And that's not the point of the story, so that's as quick as we're going to talk about that. But I did share in the first one how the doctor was like, that was the worst birth control I've ever seen, ma'am. Like you just had a baby. Like I don't think I've ever seen that. You didn't say a thing.
You were quiet. You breathe through it.
You acted like what happens is you just show up and the baby just pops out.
Yeah.
Like
you call your friends to come and then you say,
hey guys, here he is. Do you want to meet?
Beautiful?
So now your kids are going to want to have a baby next week. So good job, Mom. But went into the delivery with Whit and John, knowing that now I had done this, so I could do the same thing and have the same sort of experience. And it was a little bit harder. I think I started pushing too early. I didn't allow myself to get through the last maybe 10 minutes of the sensation of effacing and like embracing it. I was kind of like, okay.
Efface and embrace.
Face and embrace. Yes. Yeah, guys, that's all you need to know when you go in.
There you go.
Embrace the
Yep.
Yeah.
Thin and open.
Yep.
Efface and embrace.
I like it. Where to go? Meg's just going to be writing a book about this next, so that's cool.
Or I'll just repeat that over and over to you while you're there.
We can do one of the hypnobirthing, like sleep with this.
Yeah.
Thin
We'll put it
and open. They're like, too many people are having babies when they're at 32 weeks. You guys stop doing that. Their bodies are listening. Don't do that, you guys.
Don't do that. Wait till you're at least 39.
Yeah.
Weeks.
37 if you're
37.
37 if you're
if you got broken ribs.
Yeah, if you're full term, and just get this freaking baby out.
Right.
So it was a little bit more intense. I did make some noise, like there was more like grunting in my push. I remember in that one, also because I Zoom videoed it, so I could rewatch and I know that I was. So that was what it looked like. But I got a lot of questions just sharing about that. So it's like, what does that even mean? Like, so you just say the words thin and open, and it works,
and then it's done, and then you just have a baby.
And
so
it's
easy.
so easy. But I think that there was a couple different things that innately had been a part of my life at this point that really supported me to not have to take the classes and do all the different things.
Yeah.
So one of those is meditation. And I was not good at meditating in 2012. I had these babies in 2019 and 2020. So like before, have you ever meditated?
Yes.
Was it hard the first time?
It's still hard sometimes. Yeah. Things pop into my brain. Thoughts constantly are popping into my brain while I'm trying to meditate.
Right. And what that is you're learning to control your mental space and instead of allowing your mental space to control you. So I think for anybody and everybody, learning or trying to tie yourself to some sort of meditation practice is going to be supportive for life in general. If you're wanting to have a hypnobirthing experience and you're not taking classes, just starting to work on controlling your mindset through meditation is really supportive, because I could quiet my mind. I could tell the screaming mom that was yelling the F word when she was having Jace to just, it's okay, girl, just sit on the couch with your popcorn and you watch.
I got you, girl.
And I'll be over here.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I think would be super supportive.
The one that helped me is I started using Headspace. It's an app. Yeah. Because it's just an app on your phone, and I did it in my bedroom, and I sat on my floor, and it was so supportive in teaching me without being, in a class to meditate. And it's a really step-by-step easy. They go slow, and you can do it as quick or as fast as you want to. Yeah. So I would say, if you're searching and don't know where to start, I did Headspace. I'm sure there's a ton out there. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did Deepak Chopra. So he'd have like free programs every once in a while. By the way, I thought that was a combination of his name and Oprah's name, because Oprah always hosted it. It's not, you guys. Oprah
She's like, if you're coming on my show, you got to add my name to your name.
Yeah, Caley Chopra. We're there.
Meg Lenfropra.
So way to go, Chopra. Way to start that one, Chopra. I don't even know, you guys. But I was like so bad at sitting. I would have to do it when I was running my first meditation. So the only time where I felt like I could clear my mind is if my body was moving quick enough, which is okay. That's an okay place to start. Yeah. And I would listen to these 30-minute or 10-minute, whatever they were at the time, things, and just help clear my mind.
Cool.
So start somewhere.
Yeah. Or, just listen to Matthew McConaughey talk for a little bit.
He's got that book, Green Lights.
All right.
Have you listened to Green Lights?
No, I have the book. Though.
Don't read it.
Well, I read it in his voice in my head.
Well, I'm telling you what, when you listen to it in his voice in your head, because he narrates it. It's good. I have it. We'll do it together.
Send it to me.
Anyways, Matthew, we're plugging that.
We'll just put our headphones on like this together.
Hey, Matt, we're just listening to you right now. Has anybody called you Matt before? Is that weird? That sounded weird.
Yeah, Matt. He doesn't look like a Matt. He's a Matthew.
Matt, he's not a Damon.
Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew. Yeah. So try one of those things. Matthew Chopra. Or mind space.
Headspace.
Headspace.
Yeah.
Thin space. Thin and open.
Embrace any face.
Any face. thin and open. The second piece, and this ties into this very much so, is I had just started doing yoga a couple of years before.
Oh, yeah.
And just like the meditation, I had been very resistant to slowing down pretty much the first 35 years of my life.
Uh-huh.
You ever experienced this?
Well, I mean, I think you're still working on that.
I was like, Megan, let's just relax and be calm before Mexico, like for 5 days. And I was like, I got bored after one. What do you want to do today? It's been 6 hours since we've been entertained. I think you might be right.
You're doing a good job, though.
Thanks, Megs. I really feel great about it now. So anyways, I used to have a hard time with it. Not now, obviously.
She worked through it.
I'm on the other side of that. With Chopra. And so I did not want to do yoga. I worked out. I was a personal trainer. I was teaching these boot camps and mommy size classes, making these moms go up like a steep hill with their baby and 2 babies in the stroller. Like, let's get it, moms. Yeah. Get up this hill. Yeah. That was me. And then I was like, yoga's for sissies. Like, absolutely not. Not going to do that. That's not even a workout. P.S.
I can see that on that side. Yeah. If you're on that side of things and then you're watching yoga.
You're like, no way. Yeah. And then
hard.
I would challenge myself to something because I'm like, yeah, how are you going to know unless you know? So a game I've always played with myself is do a 30-day challenge.
Yeah.
So for 30 days, you're going to do yoga every day and see what happens. And I was addicted by like day 5, you guys, and sore. And I think my body was
hard.
Yeah. My body was probably leaner and more fit than it had been.
Yeah, because you use all types of muscles that you don't engage usually in
hard
gosh. Or intense workouts. You know what I mean?
And sweat more than I've ever sweat in my life. I was like, what?
That's the truth.
These yoga, you guys are beasts.
Yeah.
Plus, then you have to engage, reintroduce flexibility to your body, which I was sucking at. Can you imagine if I'm going up heels with my stroller, yelling at moms? I'm like short, stocky, like where I haven't stretched my muscles.
Yeah.
So, and then the other piece of it is the mental support. So my favorite part of yoga every single time is that you do this hour-long, intense but slow recognition of every muscle group, and then you lay there for your 5-minute shavasana.
Yeah.
And
what is it when they lay down? Is it no? Child pose is the other way. Anyways,
downward dog, cat.
It's like, and your forehead's touching the ground.
Guys, do you know that one? We're going to do child's pose. That's child's pose.
Is it child's pose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This one is
I was
happy
thinking
baby.
happy baby.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I love child's pose. Yeah.
I love when they're like, you don't have to do happy baby if it makes you uncomfortable. I'm like, what the fuck's uncomfortable about happy baby? Spread those legs.
Yeah.
Get the girls by your ears and just roll around.
Rocking.
Yeah, baby. Happy baby.
And that's true. That's what they do. It's so cute.
It is. It's like such a perfect little name. But my favorite yoga pose is Shavasana, which is literally laying on your back with your legs just kind of like open, your arms open, and you're just like in complete relaxation. And I really got to observe how you could have your mind completely quiet. Like I'd be the one, Shavasana's been over for 5 minutes, and they'd have to be like, ma'am, we have the next class coming in. I'm like, ooh, I'm really zen right now. Like I'm like seeing colors, my brain, like my whole body's vibrating. I don't even know where I'm at. It's like, talk about drugs, Officer Barry.
Yeah.
Yoga and Shavasana, one of the best drugs you can hit.
You want some yoga?
Hit that.
You want some Shavasana? I got some right here if you want some.
It's $20 a hit.
Yeah.
Come on, get your yoga on. So I really got that Shavasana hit. And what that enabled me to do is, and this is what yoga is all about, at least if you ask me right now, it's finding the calm.
Kelly, what is yoga all about?
You know what, Megs? It's about finding the calm in middle of the storm.
Love.
Allowing your body to relax when it's really hurting and enjoying that, just like that piece of it. And I think finding that practice really supported me in the delivery as well, because now I could see the sensation as something different more easily because I had been practicing unknowingly. Now, it wasn't for labor, but I was practicing.
Yeah.
And it helped in Witten's diagnosis at the hospital. It's helped through a lot of different things.
Cool.
But if you don't want to yoga for your body, yoga for your mind, just give it a shot. It gets give yourself 5 days in a row, and pretty soon you'll be like, I can't miss a class. Like you show up and they lock the door if you're not on time, and you're just you're like, fuck, like talk about a yogi enraged. Open up! I need to relax. So I've done that. It's fine.
I'm sorry, I'm late.
You're like laying on the horn. Like, go, I gotta get to yoga.
Yeah, right.
That's not counterintuitive or anything. Oh, dear.
Oh, well, that's why you need yoga.
Yeah.
You need it more than anyone else at that moment, I guess.
Yep. And you got to keep practicing because sometimes you're right back in that traffic getting late to yoga.
Yep.
You got to get there. Mm-hmm. So those two practices, bringing me in there, help. There's a third one, and that's visualization. So as an athlete, I've just learned, like, that was a big piece of our practice.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Did you do visualization for anything?
Nope.
Yeah. And I don't think it's like a normal part. If you weren't an athlete, I don't know what you've been visualizing unless you've read The Secret or you've done some sort of like that type of visualization. So for us, especially as an injured gymnast, for the last 2 years, I needed knee surgery on both knees. So I just practice hurt a lot. So out of the 4.5 hours that I'd be there, I'd probably be visualizing 3.5 of those hours. Wow. So it was just complete mental practice. So I would like balance on one of those, the big like balls, not a Bosu ball, but the big exercise balls. I'd sit on my knees on that and close my eyes. And I do all my arm movements for all of my routines, which is, it's hard enough to balance one of those balls, let alone with your eyes closed.
Yeah, on your knees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just be doing all my arm work. And I really learned how to connect my mind to my body without having to have the physical movement. And then, I mean, obviously I stopped gymnastics when I was like 16 or 17. So it's not like I was doing that type of work every day, but I did bring that back into my life in my 30s when I started building businesses and really started focusing on regular visualization for life. And we'll talk about this some other time, but like seeing your life the way you want it to be, focusing where you want to go, the think and grow rich, what happens in your mind happens in your life, all of those different
thoughts
things.
become things.
Yes. And when you start to really connect your mind with what you want to have, my visualization turned into more like, I'm going to build this huge, beautiful business. I'm going to powerfully impact multiple people. I'm going to support women everywhere. We're going to have the #1 podcast supporting women through humor and like Oprah.
Give us a call.
Hey,
Yeah. And then I'm going to have this baby quietly.
Yes.
Happily. And
comfortably.
And as comfortable as you can be in that situation.
Right.
And as quickly as you're going to allow your body to do that.
Right. And it wasn't even like going into it, I was visualizing it because the first one I didn't even know, I forgot, right? Until I was needing to have the baby hours later. But I was able to, I think, really close my eyes and connect to that space of my body. So the thin and open, it made sense to me just to keep seeing that area thin, open. And I don't think that you need to be practicing these things for decades, but I think being aware of like meditation and quieting the mind and finding the calm amidst the storm and being able to visualize things going a certain way are, to me, the 3 pillars of a successful hypnobirth process. And if I had to like stream it into just one thing, it would be what we said at the beginning. It's seeing the sensation as something differently so that your body can do what it's meant to do. We're women. We're supposed to pop babies out. Our babies,
we've been doing it for thousands of years
without all of the different tools and resources that we have now. And if we can just embrace the process and just see it for the beauty that it is and feel those sensations for the beauty that they are, it's just super cool what can happen.
Totally. And I think that that's part of the process of becoming a mother. And, like what an amazing, incredible thing that your body, that you had no idea your body could do. You had no idea. Like, I'm sure that you've seen, it's been like around that it's like going through labor is like it's like 10 times harder. The pain is more than a heart attack or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like these things that are, it's like more pain than your body can even endure in a regular kind of setting. Like it would kill you. Because it hurts so bad.
Right.
But here we are doing it and choosing to do it over and over and over again, So how incredible to like be set up entering into this space of something that you don't know anything about. You don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. But here, we're going to just put you through. We're going to show you how absolutely strong and incredible you are.
How powerful you are.
How capable you are. How just strong mentally and physically you are. And then we're going to hand you the tiniest, gentlest little gift to handle and take care of for the rest of your life.
Childbirth it's just such an incredible thing. And, I'm thinking about the mamas who are listening right now who are just like eyes wide open, who are like, oh my gosh, I can't, that pain's going to be like, what? I just want to to talk to the people who haven't had babies before, remind you that our bodies are meant to do this. But I went through that process. So 4 babies, I think I had ibuprofen maybe with Jace after they sewed me up, after the episiotomy. But I don't think not even no, nothing real. I don't know why I didn't take ibuprofen, for God's sakes. Just pop an ibuprofen, Cal. But
it's all right, honey.
Immediately after, as I'm holding this baby, if you would ask me hey, do you want to get pregnant and have another baby? Yep. It wasn't just oh no, I need to heal and recover from this. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely. And it's because I think, Megan, if I would have had a different experience that was more traumatic, it wouldn't have been like that.
Sure.
But the fact that you potentially have the option to give your body the opportunity to have a hypnobirthing experience that's full of comfort and a different orientation and perception of what the process can look like, that you might be pushing out the baby and being when are we going to make number 2? I can't wait to push that one out too. Because then I was excited to deliver.
Because it was look at how cool I just did this.
Yeah, this is awesome. And was it do you want to feel the pain every day, like you said? No, I don't. But the broken rib pain, way worse than delivery pain.
Yeah.
If it comes down to it for me, months of that versus a couple hours of going through this different sensation and trying to release the word pain from your mind and just say hey, what's right?
I think that unfortunately our society has set up a lot of things horribly for us women. They just have we all grew up thinking Prince Charming was going to come and that marriage is bliss constantly.
Romantic all the time.
Romance.
He's going to be perfect.
Yeah. Mr. Big's going to come just find you on the thing. We got kind of set up and then they do that same thing with birth. Mm-hmm. Every movie you see the woman screaming and, yelling at her husband and
yeah.
And it's so that's all we've ever seen unless you actually get to see someone give birth, which I did twice prior to mine. So my idea was a little bit different.
That's cool.
It was cool. That was an amazing gift I was given too.
Yeah.
But if all you've ever seen is movies, or talk to people, because they do I think it's because that's their narrative that they can go from is yep, it's I scream the whole time or,
And I think sometimes kind of feeling like a warrior, man, I was in labor for 29 hours and I was you kind of, and that's cool. Wear your badge of honor. I don't think sometimes we realize when we're telling our story, it might sound a little bit more intimidating or scary to the people around us,
Yeah. Yeah. And especially if that's someone who's either pregnant, which is usually who you're telling your story to.
Right? Yeah.
Because I do remember that a lot. I'd be oh my God, really? That happened to you? Holy, this huge, oh my God.
Isn't it funny? You see a pregnant person, let me tell you all about my war stories. And they're please don't. Please. If you're a mom and you're pregnant right now and somebody starts to do that, be you know what? I'm so proud of you. Also, let me hear after I go through my experience.
Let's share.
Yeah.
We'll compare after.
Yeah. And maybe for now, look up some different videos of successful different types of births
or hypnobirthing.
Yeah.
A video of it would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll share some of the different processes.
Or just stick around. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Stay tuned. Hypnobirthing today, kids. The Jetsons doing hypnobirthing stuff. They probably did too.
And Jane, his wife.
Did you, this is total sidetrack. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just saw a meme about the Jetsons in, what was it, the 70s? That the show was? It was pre-us even.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I feel it was.
The meme might have been wrong. I think it was late 70s, early 80s.
We're always factual, so.
Yeah. Mega fact, califact.
Califact.
And how they predicted everything, way before. They've got Zoom calls. He's doing office meetings.
I remember him talking to the TV all the time.
Yeah. He's got FaceTime. He's talking to his wife. And it just listed all of these different things that back then, the only thing I really remember is flying cars. And come on. We haven't done that all the way yet. Get the flying cars to go.
I know. I don't know. That scares me a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's probably not a good idea. But everything
you just
else.
See all these people in the sky.
Worst traffic already on the ground.
Yeah.
We're not doing great.
Yeah.
But okay, that didn't have anything to do with hypnobirthing. Here's the deal. I think that if you know somebody who's pregnant, that this could be encouraging to them, that you don't need I don't think you need to spend hundreds of dollars on a hypnobirthing class unless it makes you feel comfortable.
Unless that's supporting to you. Yeah.
And
if you learn better that way,
great.
Do that.
Yeah. Or an online course or something. But if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can't afford it. I don't have enough time. I can't prep. Like just start with every day, do some meditation exercises and visualize yourself having this beautiful birth, or visualize yourself having a beautiful afternoon. It doesn't have to do anything with your birth. Just like start practicing some different mental practices on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So that when you walk in, write down your words on a note card, thin and open, and just feel how that could support you in a different way. And if things go a different direction, that's okay too.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
If you're like, I
be
want that
prepared
epidural.
for that, in not in an expectation kind of way, but if it happens, to not be disappointed or like feel like you failed in any sort of way, because there is you're not failing in any way, shape, or form, no matter how you decide to labor and give birth.
Yeah.
Or don't get to decide and it's been pushed upon you, and that's okay too. Like it's never, in those situations, it's not ideal, but it's part of what happened, and that's your story, and that's the way that you get to share and show up for other people who maybe need to hear that as well. So, but if you start in a visualization state and a meditation state, I think that it is just a really good prepping place to begin that whole journey.
I even think that if somebody was like, you start the labor process during the day and you have those first, like, I think, I don't know, if to me, I'm like, everybody is like 8 to 10 hours long, like where it's just like starting and you're like, maybe contractions are every 10 minutes or 12 minutes. During those little ones, visualizing just that piece so that your labor can go that much quicker. Because I really do believe if even during those small pieces, you embrace the process, you're going to get to the other side quicker with more love and more comfortably. And then when you get to the hospital, if you're like,
calm.
cool, like I want to, now I want to have an epidural. I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. Do that.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
It's like
There's
a little combo.
There is no like list of how you do this right. You just do what's good for you. And I do like, I just want to repeat this because I do think that it's important, or a good place to start is if you do want to do hypnobirthing, or if you want to do a dare birth, a drug-free birth, to stay at home.
Dr. Berry birth.
Dr. Berry birth. If you do stay, if you can, if you feel healthy, if you feel secure, if you there comes a point in your mind that you're like, I know I need help, or I know I need to get to the doctor. You will know that. But if you can stay home without medical intervention, like if you can prolong that as long as possible,
I completely agree.
I think that that's the best way to do that, because once you start getting into those spaces, those people want to do what they are made to do.
Yeah.
And that's hook you up, get you on this. You want to do this? We're going to start pushing. Like, but
what am I going to give you? I'm going to break
it's
your
harder.
water.
Yeah, it's harder to listen to your own body at that point, because there's too many voices.
Professionals.
Yeah, professional people.
Not a quote. Well, that's bad. Like I did the quotes, air quotes, because they really are professionals, but still, like they're not.
They do have degrees.
Yes,
but
they went to school for these things.
But you are the professional of your body, your own body, especially in moments like this where it's not a medical emergency.
Yeah.
And then if it is, you get to the doctor, because that's what they're there for too.
You know what else they always show on shows is that the water breaks.
Yeah.
You get in the taxi, you almost have the kid, and then like that's how it works. My water didn't break with any 4 of the kids. Like when you're talking like having your water broke, like there was just
they had to go in and break.
There was a strong sack. I had some strong sacks. So you take a lot of vitamins, don't you?
They're like looking in there and like, wow, look at that strong sack.
That's a great sack, lady. And
your husband's like, ooh, what about mine?
I have 2.
Check mine out.
Look at these babies. They're strong. I like them.
They're not really. You flick them in there like, ow!
Touch my ball sack. You go from talking about hypnobirthing to ball sacks that quick? Yes, we do.
If you're new here, welcome.
Welcome to Mature-ish Mamas. If you guys have questions about hypnobirthing, ask us. I don't even know. There's
ask her.
Yeah. Ask. We do share one brain cell. We already decided that.
Yeah,
so
right.
that's unfortunate for you guys. But in the group, so we have the Mature-ish Mamas group on Facebook.
Yep.
There are tons of people that are still joining.
Love.
So join, share your story, tell us things you want to talk about, ask if you want to be on the show.
Yeah.
Entertain different things. Like, hey guys, could you guys please stop, fill in the blank here? We might listen to you, we might not.
We might not. Sometimes a lot of the things we do, I feel like are unstoppable. Like, what is the word that I'm looking for? It's like
regurgitation.
Yeah, like you can't help but do it. It's like I can't help but start singing sometimes.
I was just going to say, we will never stop singing. If you're like, hey guys, the show would be great if you didn't sing. Well, MTV has a contract with us. We've already talked about this. They're still around, you guys. It's 1989.
1989. Yep. And what's really cool that it's been one of our core values as always is to build community. And the Facebook is a great place to start that for people because there are other people who probably have done hypnobirth.
Yeah.
So if you do have a question, Cal has an answer, this person has an answer, this person has an answer, and they may be all different. And then what's cool about that is you take from those, like it's a culmination of knowledge.
And a little smorgasbord, like a little
it's a buffet.
What's the board?
Charcuterie.
One of those.
Charcuteries.
So it's a charcuterie board. So we have a charcuterie board that you can pick and choose whatever you want and leave the salami on the table if you want and grab the nuts.
Whatever
you want.
A little roast beef.
Are you guys visualizing this or just
Some jam.
Oh my
Jam
God.
on it. Maybe you like hot dogs on your charcuterie board.
You might. Mini dogs, little tiny hot dogs.
Oh yeah. What are those?
Mini roaster, mini wieners.
Yeah, and what are those little things called?
I don't know. I have no idea. Or dill pickle. Just a big dill pickle.
Classic.
And then maybe in the group I can just share the link to all the little hypnobirthing snippets because I think like actually seeing more than just what we shared here of what the process looked like is just kind of just gives you a different viewpoint and perspective of what it could be like too.
I love that.
So, and remember you guys, your story, however it is, nobody's better than anybody else. There's no better or worse.
It's not a competition.
There's no competition.
Nope.
And none of us get a medal at the end of it. We get a baby.
Which is better than a medal.
Well, better than a medal.
Better than a medal.
Better than a medal. Guys, we love you. Good morning,
your
sunshine.
guts.
Love your guts. ILYG. You ain't got no alibi. You early. You early. Guys, we'll see you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Bye for now. Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.
You want to know when you become mature-ish? That's when you don't give a fuck if you wear a condom on your finger anymore. Like I remember in my 20s, I would never leave the house with a full-on blue condom on my finger.
We do a video. We talk about the finger condom. We don't even explain what's happening or why she's wearing it. And we just move on.
I was talking dirty, too, about it.
It was real dirty. And we just move on just like, yeah, of course.